And we are live. This is UFC 95 Bro Picks, Cyborg versus Lanberg with Ricky.
What's up, guys? This is Justin. We got a pretty good card. Last card was kind of a weird card, honestly, and the card before that was weird too. But this is a good card. There's a lot of good favorites in this card, and the lines, are pretty crazy. But we'll be talking about that later. So let's start off with the first fight. We got in the lightweight division, we got Franca versus Gregor Gillespie. This is a pretty decent fight for a first fight on the card. I do like Franca in the matchup. Gillespie's making his debut. He's a wrestler. He's one-dimensional. He trains at Long Island MMA with Chris Wade, Dennis Bermudez, and I watched a little tape on him. He has 6 wins by finish, but I think his stand-up's still kind of green. And he's a good wrestler. He might be one of the best wrestlers to, in the division. But Franca's pretty scrappy. He won the Ultimate Fighter for Brazil, and he fought a pretty close fight with James Vick. And I think he was beating James Vick before he got eye poked, and the eye poke seriously damaged him. And I think he would have beat Vick. Honestly, I'm not that impressed with James Vick, and I think he's overrated. And I think Franca's pretty well rounded, and he's good on the feet. He has good ground game. He just needs to, have good takedown defense in this fight. But I don't see Gillespie taking him down at will and laying on him. I see, Franca getting a decision, and it's, he's fighting in his hometown, so it's going to help him in Brazil. So I got Franca by decision, and I'll be passing for betting. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of see where you're going with this. I'm probably going to have to agree with you. They're fighting in Brazil. I don't know what it is, but when Brazilians fight in Brazil, they kind of show up. Franco he's a negative 140 favorite, and Gillespie's underdog plus 110. So I don't know. Wrestlers tend to do pretty well too, but. Agree with you, Franca. So next fight we got Vincent versus. We're going to be fighting at 170 pounds. 9-5, and Hector Urbina is 25-9. So he's got a little bit more experience. Yeah, Vincent, look, he's no joke. I think He's coming off of 2 wins, a second-round submission off of Alvaro Herrera. And Hector Urbina is coming off a loss from Barbotes. I don't know. I can't really pronounce his last name. But we're probably going to have to go with Luque in this fight. I think he's got the momentum on his side. And I'm really impressed with the submission. What about you?
Yeah, I'm picking Luque too. I'm not that impressed with him though. I think I'm gonna be fading him pretty soon. Like once he fights like somebody like Bilal Muhammad or just fought, I think Muhammad's gonna beat him for sure. But that's another day. I do think he has good ground game. He has good chokes, and he's pretty raw on the feet. But Hector Urbina is not that good of a fighter. He lost to Cahal Pengood on top, one of the worst fighters in the UFC ever, and he has terrible takedown defense, and Luque is a good wrestler. So that Fabianski guy just took him down at will, and Urbina is decent on the feet, but not that good, So I think Luque is going to beat him, and the line's too crazy to be betting on this fight. I'll pick Luque by a finish, but I'm going to be passing for betting. All right, so the next fight we got Alan Patrice in the lightweight division versus Stevie Ray. This is another fight I'll be passing from. I'll be picking Stevie Ray. He's from Scotland. He's 19-5. Patrice is, 13-1. Patrice, he's kind of flashy on the feet, but he gasses out. And Stevie Ray has good stand-up, but, he doesn't have the best takedown defense. But I don't see Patrice getting takedown. So I got Stevie Ray. He didn't look the best in his last fight, but he does have some good wins in the UFC. And Patrice got, John Modesti definitely got robbed against him. And Patrice is he didn't look that good against Damian Brown. So he is flashy at times, but he gasses out too fast. And I think Stevie Ray's going to get the better of him on the feet. So I got Stevie Ray by decision. What about you?
On this one, I'm gonna have to go. It's in Brazil. Still, chin is coming off. I don't win. I think Stevie decision. Ray's going to be able to unanimous and knock them out. And I know that he's going to be. He's also coming or a finish. Has a win of John Mendes. So I'm going to go with Lanberg, Ortiz, here Whitley. Get a sub. Originally, he's under flank. All right, keeps going back. Not that impressive, and to be honest, ever since he hasn't looked the same. This fight's in Brazil. I really try kind of for the UFC. Right, he's coming off of a draw from Sergio Morales. Eric Silva, I think, is honestly on his way out. He's been knocked out. And I don't know. He just looks deflated since since all the PED testing. USADA. Yeah, sorry, drawing a blank.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan on Silva. I'm probably going to be staying away from this fight. You can't really trust him. But I think he should get the submission. What about you?
So you're picking Chagas?
No, I said Silva should get the submission, but you can't really trust him because he hasn't been showing up recently.
Okay. Yeah, we have better connection now. That's what I was texting you about. But in the beginning, it was kind of slow. But anyways, yeah, I've definitely picked Silva a lot in the past, and he's hurt me. I mean, he definitely hurt me in his last fight against Urbina. He hurt both of us. And, yeah, that was, a tough pill to swallow. But you know what? His back's against the wall in this fight. And just like Jake Ellenberg versus Matt Brown, Ellenberg went out there and plastered him. And I kind of see, Silva doing the same thing to Chagas. Chagas has a draw in the UFC. He has a good record. He's 14-1. He's a finisher. All of his wins are by finish. But he hasn't fought in the type. I don't know. I know Silva hasn't beaten the best guys, but I still think Silva's fought and beaten better competition than Chagas. And Silva doesn't train at Kings MMA anymore either, which is good because training at Kings MMA against Neil Magny and his last fight against Taleb, he didn't have that same style in the past, and I think he's going to bring out that old style. He's training in Brazil. He's good in Brazil too. I think he's like 5 or 6-2. And he's beaten everybody that doesn't have a Wikipedia page. And Chagas does not have a Wikipedia page. So I see the old Eric Silva coming out. He lives by the sword, dies by the sword. He's going to come out, relentless. I think he's going to be coming out like a god like he has been in the past. And I think he's going to smoke Chagas and get a first-round sub. We know how Silva has been in the past. He's beaten guys he should be beaten, and then he loses the guys that he shouldn't, that he should lose to. But he has that aggressive style before these last 2 fights. His Neil Magny fight was a split decision. And he didn't look that good, but still. I'm taking these 2 fights out of the equation. The old Eric Silva is coming back. The one that wants to brawl and get into war. And I don't think Chagas is going to be able to, handle that. I mean, I see Silva dropping him and getting the sub. So Silva has a very good ground game, and he has power on the feet. So just like I said about a minute ago, his back's against the wall. He needs this fight. He's a finisher. I'm not impressed with Chagas, and I don't think Sergio Morales is that good of a fighter either. So I'm going to be going with Silva. He's even right now, and I'm definitely going to be betting on him. And I hope he doesn't, F up. So let's go Eric Silva. All right, so the next fight we got in the flyweight division, we got Formiga versus Dustin Ortiz. We got a Formiga who's ranked, I think, 3rd, and Ortiz is 12th. Now this is a close fight, and I've actually been a little back and forth in this fight, but I'm going to be going with the underdog in this fight, Dustin Ortiz. Now Formiga has a very good ground game, but this all comes down to if he can take down Ortiz. On the feet, Ortiz is better, but he's a good wrestler too and has good takedown defense. He's been in there with some good guys, beat some good guys. He put it on. He looked good against Benavidez. I know he lost, but still. And he beat Scoggins in a close fight. And Formiga, I think he has a weak stand-up. I don't think he's that good, and he's very good on the ground. But I just don't see him taking down Ortiz, repeatedly. So I'm going to be going with Ortiz. He's very tough to finish. I might not be betting on this fight, but I'm picking Ortiz. What about you?
I don't know, man. It seems like for some reason I'm betting I'm picking every single Brazilian so far. I think they have it set up this way on purpose. Like all the Brazilians seem to be the favorite. But I'm going to be picking the favorite again, I think. To me, I hate doing this because I feel like I'm just picking the favorite. But I just feel like Dustin Ortiz is not consistent. And I don't like picking people that are not really consistent. Formiga has solid ground game. I think he's going to apply it pretty well. He's lost to Henry Cejudo, who's an Olympic class wrestler. So, I mean, that's pretty understandable. I don't think Dustin Ortiz has good enough wrestling to defend the takedown. So, I think Formiga is going to put it to the floor and probably get him a submit him pretty quickly. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes in this card. It's going to be pretty fun. Seems like a lot of mismatches. So, yeah.
Especially on the main card.
Yeah. All right. Next fight is going to be Rani Yahya versus Michinori Tanaka. Rani, he's 22-8. He's from Brazil. Michinori is from Japan. He's 11-1. They're fighting at the 135 division, and they both got the identical reach. The reach is very, as some would say. Rani Yahya is coming off three wins in a row, 2 of them being submissions. So he's got a lot of finishes. And Minotauri Tanaka has a win over Joe Soto. And so do you know who the favorite is?
Yahya. But the Tanaka fight with Soto definitely won that fight. He got robbed.
Oh, yeah?
That's in my opinion, and a lot of people agree with that too.
Who do you think is going to win?
I'm picking. Wait, who are you picking?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen tape on either of them.
Okay, well, I'm picking Rani Yahya. I think this is going to be a very good grappling fight. They're both good grapplers, but Yahya has, I think, the better ground game. And I think Tanaka is a better wrestler, but I see Yahya coming out on the scrambles, transitions, and I see him getting the sub. His last fight against Matthew Lopez really impressed me. I mean, Lopez was coming in with a lot of hype. I think the line was even. And he looked good in the first round, but Yahya went in there and handled business, got a sub. If he works on his stand-up, he's going to be a force in this division. I mean, he has one of the best ground games in the division. He's a tough dude, and I'll be picking Yahya. And this could be a fun fight. One of the best fights in the night. So you're still undecided?
I'll probably, well, I haven't seen, so it'll just be a guess. So I'll agree with you then. I'll go with Yahya with the Brazilian.
Sounds good.
Home court advantage.
Yeah,
they're doing that on purpose.
It's Brazil.
They're doing that on purpose.
It's Brazil, dude. So I mean, there's a lot of bad calls over there. So we'll see.
Do you think they're gonna mismatch the fights on purpose to make them mostly like all the Brazilians win and stuff? Seems like it.
I don't know, man. We'll see. But let's call
like
the next fight.
Are the favorites?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Brazilians definitely going to win, but
except Nelson, he's the only one I see. Anyway, that's for
Yeah,
later.
I see other guys too.
Let's go on.
But we'll talk about that later. So, anyways, got
Yeah.
a pretty good matchup between Gilbert Burns and Michelle Prazeres. Burns is 11-1. Prazeres is
20-2.
yes, 22. Thanks. I can't read my handwriting. Anyways, Prazeres is one of the biggest 155ers out there, but he's kind of a boring fighter. I mean, he is a grinder.
He's short.
What's up?
Short.
Yeah, he's really big and he lays on his guys, but he's not going to be able to land Gilbert Burns because Gilbert Burns is one of the best ground games in the lightweight division. The stand-ups look better, and Gilbert Burns is a finisher, dude. I mean, he's 11-1 for a reason, and his jiu-jitsu is top-notch. That comeback win against Cowboy Oliveira was impressive. He looked good last fight. He's a good chin. His stand-up is improved, like I just said, and his ground game is elite. So I definitely see him getting a sub in this fight. I'm betting on him. He's in a parlay with Eric Silva and who else do I have in there? I got Pepey, who we'll be talking about next. And I'm confident in Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is going to be a top 15 guy really soon. So I got Burns. What about you? Any transit
I agree with you.
Sorry,
I think most of Michel's wins are from decision. He's kind of boring, like you said. Everything you said. He's kind of boring. Kind of took the words out of my mouth. And I think Gilbert Burns has a lot of. He has under his belt, and he's just going to be the better grappler. Burns seems like a good one to play. I'll be betting this card though, but we need someone I could. That's for the prelims. So let's move on to the main card. It's going to be starting off with Mike De La Torre versus Pepey is from Brazil. Mike De La Torre is from USA. And we got 4. And Delary is to be 14-5. Honest, I think it's going to be a pretty good fight. Del Toro is coming off a win from Yuchi Nam. Coming off a lot on this one. I mean, he's the underdog on this one. Pepe's a favorite. I mean, he subbed out Feely in the first round. He subbed out Deshaun Johnson in the first round. So Pepe's got some pretty quick. He's also got a first round TKO. Mike De La Torre's been out KO because he's for the chin. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to add on something from the last fight real quick. Yeah, Gilbert Burns trains at Brazilians, and they're on a roll right now with that Michael Johnson knockout. What did you just say? I was just adding on something from the last fight that Burns trains at Brazilians, and they're on a roll with Michael Johnson knockout of Torre. Anyways, just throw that out there for the fans. Yeah, I like Pepey in this matchup. He, just like Eric Silva, he's really good at home in Brazil. And yeah, he lost his last fight, but you know, Darren Elkins is the kind of guy that can take that punishment, and De La Torre cannot take that punishment. I mean, he has 3 losses by sub. He has 1 loss by a 16-second knockout against Maximo Blanco, who just got wrecked against Chaz Skelly. And Torre also should have another sub against T-City. It was like a minute standing guillotine, but it got overturned, no contest, because T-City got popped. But yeah, I don't think Del Torre is that good, and I don't see him being able to take the punishment from Pepey. Pepey's going to be throwing a bunch of stuff at him. Flying knees, spinning back fists, I mean, flying triangles. I mean, Pepey is no joke, dude. I mean, he's beating good guys, you know, on Feely, and he has very good stand-up, very good ground game, so I see Pepey getting the first round finish. All right, so the next fight, we got... this is like murderer's row coming up. We got Thiago Santos versus Eric Spicy. I did pick Spicy against Sam Alvey. I don't know why. I like both the guys, Spicy and Sam Alvey, but for some reason I was being stupid and I picked spicy, and I'm not doing that ever again unless he's fighting some can. But this is the first round knockout for Thiago Santos. The line's too crazy. I should have hopped on it when it was plus 300, but I didn't. Now it's like, no, I'm sorry, minus 300. Now he's like minus 600, something like that. Thiago Santos should not be fighting Eric Spicy. He should be fighting someone like the Boncat or someone, I don't know, not Eric Spicy. I mean, this is an easy fight. I mean, Spicy's one-dimensional. He has no stand-up. He doesn't have the best chin. I don't think he can take down Thiago Santos at all. So Thiago Santos is way too much for him on the feet. He's going to be a first-round knockout. I mean, it's like they're giving him a sacrificial lamb. So I got Santos all day. I don't even need to talk about it that much because it's so straightforward. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know what Spice is doing in the UFC 185 division. He looks like a dad, like a chubby dad. I don't know. Yeah, you said it right. He's one-dimensional, and like he got choked out by Sam Alvey, and I mean, Spicely's like he's supposed to be known for his submissions, but he gets, I don't know, he got choked out by someone that's not really a grappler. So he's ready for the UFC. I mean, he made it pretty far in the Ultimate Fighter. Competition wasn't that great that season. To be honest, it doesn't seem like it. It just seemed like it was very entertaining to watch because of Conor. But yeah, I'm not impressed with Spicy at all. I didn't pick him against Sam Alvey. I knew he was going to get wrecked, and I think he's going to get wrecked again. Thiago Santos is going to keep it standing up. He's just way too strong, way too fast for him. He's not going to be able to do anything. I think Santos is just going to have his way and manhandle him, finish him prior to the first round.
Early, probably like 20 seconds.
Yeah, devastating finish. Knocked out pretty bad against Mustasi. To me, I didn't think it was gonna happen like that, but yep.
Mustasi's elite. Mustasi's elite though.
Next fight, we're gonna be friends. Yeah, but versus Paul Felder. I didn't see.
Who'd you pick?
Hey, we got disconnected. But anyway, we're back, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I'm going to go with Felder for the decision. I just think he's more well-rounded. Trinaldo's going to gas out, throwing heavy hands with heavy strikes. So yeah, Felder with decision. If the judges don't fuck it up. What about you?
Yeah, now we're good. Sorry, guys. Well, I don't know. This hasn't happened in a while, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got connection problems. I do like Felder in this matchup too. I don't think Trinaldo is that good of a fighter. He has, he's old, and he took a lot of punishment against Yancey in his last fight. And Paul Felder, man, he's aggressive, dude. He has a good arsenal on the feet, good takedown defense. And I know a little MMA math. Trinaldo beat Pearson and Felder didn't, but I don't buy that shit. I mean, I don't always think about MMA math. So I think Paul Felder's gonna take it to him and get a third round finish. Trinaldo gasses out, and Felder doesn't gas out. Felder has good cardio for a big 155er, And I think he's just too much for him on the feet. He's going to be in Trinaldo's face. I think Trinaldo's a little chinny too, and I do think Felder's going to finish him. So I like Paul Felder in this fight. I do think Trinaldo is, also a big 155-pounder, but he just, like I said, he gasses out. And I just think Paul Felder's an overall better fighter, and I see him getting a finish in the third round. So we both got Felder. All right, the next fight, we got Big Country versus Bigfoot Silva. This is a huge mismatch. Bigfoot Silva should not be fighting in the UFC, maybe not even in Bellator. He definitely has the worst chin, I think, of all time, maybe in the UFC. I mean, this guy just gets – I mean, that Struve knockout was like – was that a jab? I don't even know what that was. But I will say this, though. The line's too crazy, and I don't know if I'm going to bet on it because Big Country's look pretty hesitant lately. And they're friends, too, which kind of throws me off. So I do think Big Country's going to win. Maybe not by a first-round finish, but I definitely see him getting the win. But I won't be betting on it. What about you?
So, yeah, I definitely think Nelson's going to destroy his chin. It's going to be 3 KOs in a row for this guy. I don't think Silva should – I think Silva should have retired after the Hunt KO. Your chin is just not the same after that. Go with Nelson with the vicious KO in the first round. He's got that overhand right, so I'm probably that one. Is that what you just said or no?
What?
Overhand right?
No, I didn't say anything because I don't know. I don't think he's going to get a first-round finish. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I think he might get maybe a –
he's going to get that overhand right.
Maybe a second or third-round finish.
So, first round. They're too big, dude. No blows. Nelson wants to get a KO. He just lost a split decision. I think he wants to get back on the winning horse. So I'm going to go with Nelson with the first round KO.
Hope he gets the first round. He's just too hesitant.
I'm probably not going to bet either because of the lines, but that's who I'm picking. So let's go on to the next one. This is a huge, huge mismatch again. We got Felipe Nover versus Renan Barao. Felipe Nover, I'm kind of nobodies. He's losing decisions against no one's, winning decisions against Yuchi, Nam. But to be honest, I'm not that impressed. He's not that. None of his fights really aren't that memorable. Maybe since 2009, I don't know. He won. He was in the Ultimate Fighter. Renan Barao is just coming off a loss to Jeremy Heathen Stevens, as well as a loss to T.J. Dillashaw. He moved up to 145. He looked kind of hesitant in his last fight. Hopefully this time he comes up swinging. I think it's a mismatch, and I'm going to go with Renan Barao with the decision. What about you?
Yeah, Barao looked pretty good in that first round against Jeremy Stevens. His chin he's chinny. I'm not getting, I'm sorry he is, but those two TJ wins or those two TJ losses definitely took a toll on his chin. But it's a huge mismatch. I mean, Nover easily could be 0-5 in the UFC. I think he did not win. I forget which fight it was, but he got robbed. The other dude got robbed, and he's not that impressive. I know he's never been finished, but he just does not put a lot of output. And even his last fight, I mean, his last fight was he's just not a good. I don't know. He's just a boring fighter, dude. He didn't look good in his last fight either. I don't think he lost, obviously, but he didn't look that good. And Barao's a featherweight now. I know he's a big featherweight too. And I think Barao's gonna get a finish. I think he's gonna drop him and get a sub. So a lot of these fights, like we already mentioned, are total mismatches. The lines are too crazy. But Barao should not be fighting some dude like Nover. So Nover is a scrub. And just like I said earlier, it's like they're feeding him a sacrificial lamb. So I also got Barao. Next fight, we got another mismatch. We got Chris Cyborg versus Rena. How do you say about what is it? Rena. What's her last name? Lanberg.
Landsberg.
Rena Landsberg. Yeah, Landsberg. Kind of like Steven
Landsberg. S after the end.
Yeah, I couldn't read my handwriting again. Anyways, yeah, Cyborg, she has a little problem cutting weight, and I think she has to cut, 15 pounds, something like that. I still think she's gonna win. Lansberg's not that impressive in my opinion. I mean, yeah, she has 6 finishes, but she's also been finished. And Cyborg's too much of a man, so I think Cyborg's gonna get a win. I kind of want to see Cyborg fight at 135 and fight someone like with a big name like Home. We'll have to see how that happens, but yeah, I got Cyborg by first round finish. What about you?
There's no way. Fuck. I think she's gonna run to the side. I don't think. I don't think um, Cyber can make it to one. I don't know. This girl's the lines are making her debut ridiculous. You, I'm
So you're picking Cyborg?